Dr. Seuss banned, Mr. Potato Head controversy, critical race theory, trans athletes, gas stoves. Notice something? While we're screaming about Dr. Seuss books, nobody's talking about why insulin costs $300. While we rage about pronouns, nobody's addressing why rent eats up 60% of people's income. While we fight about bathrooms, corporate profits are hitting record highs. This isn't an accident. Let me show you why. There's a pattern here. Over the past few years, culture war battles explode at the exact same time major economic decisions are being made. In 2021 and 2022, we saw panic over critical race theory, book bans, and "Don't Say Gay" headlines, while nearly $2 trillion in pandemic relief flowed mostly to corporations. In 2023, it was the Bud Light boycott and the M&M's controversy, while corporate tax rates stayed near historic lows. In 2024, the focus shifted to DEI debates in campus protests, while healthcare costs rose and wages stagnated. And now in 2025 and 2026, it's whatever manufactured outrage dominates the news this week, while wealth concentration continues to accelerate. See the pattern? Every minute you spend arguing about culture is a minute you're not organizing around economics. But why does this work so well? Because culture wars activate a completely different kind of psychology than policy debates. Policy fights require understanding complex systems, analyzing data, accepting trade-offs, tolerating uncertainty, and waiting for results. Culture wars don't. They offer clear good versus evil, instant emotional payoff, simple tribal belonging, a feeling of moral superiority, no complexity required. Neuroscience backs this up. Culture war content strongly activates the brain's threat response. It delivers dopamine through moral outrage. It strengthens in-group identity, and it triggers defensive reactions tied to personal identity. In simple terms, it feels better to fight about culture than to wrestle with policy. And politicians, media companies, and corporations know this. So who actually benefits from culture wars? Political campaigns do. Fundraising spikes whenever culture issues dominate. Emails warning that they're coming for your kids raise millions. Detailed policy discussions? Silence. Media companies benefit too. A headline like "Woke Mob Canceled X" gets hundreds of thousands of clicks. A headline about housing reform gets a fraction of that. Rage equals revenue. And corporations benefit the most. While people argue about whether a toy is too woke, what books schools should teach, or who uses which bathroom, corporations are buying back stock instead of raising wages, avoiding taxes, breaking unions, capturing regulators. Amazon would much rather you argue about Dr. Seuss than unionize. Walmart would much rather you fight about pronouns than ask why full-time workers still need food stamps. Every billionaire wants you focused on culture because culture doesn't threaten their wealth. Here's the key insight. Culture wars aren't just distractions, they're substitutes for material politics. When economic policy fails to deliver rising wages, affordable housing, accessible healthcare, secure retirement, and real mobility, people are offered something else instead. Symbolic victories. We banned CRT, but your paycheck didn't grow. We protected girls' sports, but childcare is still unaffordable. We stood up to woke corporations, but those corporations still don't pay taxes. You're given culture war wins instead of economic power and expected to be satisfied with that trade. Every culture war is a policy conversation we're not having. Every symbolic fight replaces material change. That's not random. That's the point. Culture fights are cheaper than fixing systems, so that's what we get. In the next video, we'll break down why politicians specifically love identity debates and exactly what they're replacing. Subscribe if you're done being distracted.